The word gravity means weight, dignity, seriousness, or importance. It's from the Latin gravitatum, meaning weight, heaviness, or pressure, which comes from the Latin gravis, meaning heavy, which originates from the Proto-Indo-European guere, also meaning heavy. The scientific sense of downward acceleration of terrestrial bodies due to gravitation of the Earth was first recorded in the 1620s. Gravitate means exert weight, move downward, which is obsolete. Also from the Latin gravis, which replaced gravere, which means to make heavy, burden, oppress, or aggravate. Gravere also originates from the Proto-Indo-European guere. Figurative sense of be strongly attracted to or have a natural tendency toward is from the 1670s. Gravitation is a force that gives weight to objects in physics, and figuratively is an act of tending toward a center of attraction. And gravitation is the opposite of levitation. Levitation means lightness. I thought of the word grave, and it comes from the same Proto-Indo-European guere. So does grief. Gravity is still a theory, and a theory that's not observable. The closest observable and repeatable thing to gravity is in particle physics, and it's called like dielectric acceleration. The gravity of the gravity situation is that it never made any sense to me. How is this force so strong that it supposedly holds everything down to a ball flinging around at speeds of Mach 8, yet we don't feel any resistance, feathers can float, birds can fly. It doesn't make any sense. It's far more likely that we're on a level plane and maybe it's density and our weight that holds us to the surface, or we're in a holographic simulated reality and nothing holds us to the surface. Hell, I'd believe that we're magnetic before this gravity thing. Another thing they say about gravity is, okay, so gravity is what holds everything to the earth, right? But that's also the reason that the moon stays spaced at the proper distance is gravity. Well, you can't have it both ways. Thanks for your comment. Have a good day. The word depression originated in 1400 as a term in astronomy, meaning angular distance of a star below the horizon. It's from the Latin depressionum, meaning to press down or depress. The meaning dejection, state of sadness, a sinking of the spirits is from the early 15th century, and Etymology refers you to the word depress. Depress means put down by force or conquer, a sense now obsolete. From the Old French depressor, meaning to press down or lower, which comes from the Latin deprimere, meaning press down. Conquer is very fitting. This realm is currently operated like a free-range prison. People spend most of their time and energy slaving away for money. Children go to school, which is modeled after the prison system, and they are pressured to fit in the same box. Things like critical thinking are discouraged, yet we call it an education. It's an indoctrination and a spirit breaking. Those who rebel against the system are often put down by force. I've suffered from clinical depression as long as I can remember, and my desire to isolate from society gets worse as I age. I try to leave my home as little as possible. I just don't want to interact with others and end up in a potential confrontation. Certain things just seem to find me. And when I do end up in a confrontation, it does seem to pop off. I see the word depression as like depress an ion. Ions under pressure. The number one reason for my depression has been seeing the evil and enormous issues in society, but feeling helpless to fix it. Feeling completely misunderstood and not valued by others would be next, and you have no idea how exciting it is for me to see all these people realizing truth. It's taken me a long time to realize that healing the self is the best thing that we can do to fix the world. making our immediate reality as peaceful and positive as we can make it. It took me losing everything to realize that most of the shit that we spend our time worrying about is useless, nonsense, meaningless. Capitalism is a way to enslave us and distract us from our true spiritual power and nature. And I've accepted that I'm going to have a certain amount of depression here. I do feel this is a prison realm, and we've got to work on healing the self and really becoming love-centered to get out of here. Have a great day. As a verb, the word spell means read letter by letter, write or say the letters of, form words by means of letters. From the Old English spellen, meaning to tell, speak, discourse, or talk, take the place of, be substitute for, or represent. From the Proto-Indo-European spell, meaning to say aloud or recite. As a noun, spell comes from the Old English spell, and it means story, saying, tale, history, narrative, fable, discourse, or command, also from the Proto-Indo-European spell. A second noun meaning is work in place of another, also from the Old English spelling. People who think they don't do any kind of spell casting may not like that the use of language is spell casting. Words are spells. This is a magic realm. When doing spell casting, you cast a circle, and the spell takes place inside the circle. The circle cast around this realm is the cardinal directions: north, east, west, and south. Likely not coincidence that it spells news. To cast is to throw, and throw means to project. We project our voices and we project ideas onto paper with writing. A rite, plural, is a ritual. It certainly isn't a coincidence that the W is silent on the word rite. Your pen or pencil would be your magic wand. When using technology, like an iPad or an iPhone, your finger would be the wand. And then like the mouse on a computer is similar to the thing on a Ouija board. Probably not coincidence that the mouse controls the cursor. The English language uses letters and words to make sentences, and this process is called spelling. Makes sense? Maybe because English is an intricately designed spellcasting language. When you write things in cursive, it connects the sigils together and makes the words more powerful. Likely the very reason why kids aren't taught cursive writing as much anymore. Have a great day. Now that I study etymology, one thing that bothers me is the misuse of the word judge. When people say don't judge, I think they mean don't condemn. The word judge means examine, appraise, form an opinion, think, make a diagnosis, make a decision. It's from the Latin iudicare, meaning to judge, examine, form an opinion upon, or pronounce judgment. To form opinions, make decisions, and to think are natural and normal and important human behaviors. Condemning another person's choice is what's not cool and what many people mean by don't judge. Condemn means to blame, censure, pronounce judgment against. It's from the Latin condemnare, meaning to sentence, doom, blame, or disprove. Assimilated from condamnare, meaning with harm or damage. So to condemn is to judge someone without caring if your opinion harms the other person or damages their reputation. We don't know anyone else's whole story or intent. Actions that look terrible on the outside are often justifiable once you are aware of a situation. There are many gray areas in this world. Souls have free will to make our own choice in this realm, and you'd be far better served accepting that you cannot control others, but you could actually learn if you listen to why someone holds a certain belief, whereas nothing is gained by trying to convince someone else that their opinion is wrong. We should listen with an open mind and try to envision being in that person's shoes. We shouldn't listen to try to disprove or invalidate someone's experience. We should listen to comprehend rather than to rebut. This life isn't some grand ego competition. We must be willing to change our judgments and beliefs when new information presents itself. Don't get hard set in a belief system and try to defend it because of your ego. There's no shame in being wrong. One should be ashamed of closing his mind after off to learning due to pride. A wise man only knows he knows nothing. Have a great day. The word complain means lament, bewail, grieve, fault, express dissatisfaction, or criticize. It comes from the Latin complangere, meaning beat the breast. When I think of beat the breast, I see breast as be at rest. Complaining is a good way to beat the rest or the inner peace out of someone. Plain communication also comes to mind, and I'm reminded of a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. Small minds discuss people, average minds discuss events, and great minds discuss ideas. Individuals who don't ponder life and complex topics often spend a lot of time complaining and discussing the actions of other people, condemning the actions of another without knowing anything about his or her story. Negative folks don't like it when someone is positive or won't engage their complaining. Negativity attracts more negativity. Complainers end up bringing their negativity right back on themselves. Many folks focus on others as a way to avoid self-reflection, which is unfortunate, for without self-awareness, one cannot grow. We are not taught how to deal with our emotions. We're not taught that our thoughts create our reality. We're not taught that you receive back exactly what you put out into the world. Mass programming is filled with fear and thoughts of competing with your neighbor. These things are done on purpose. A united community is what the evil ones in charge fear most. They want us to stay on a lower frequency, to be a plain race of distracted slaves that keep this energy harvesting system going. They do not want us realizing our power and creating a peaceful and abundant world. Your thoughts are so important. Thoughts create your emotions, and emotions create your behaviors. If you're having issues with emotional control or your behaviors, it all stems back to your thoughts. The evil ones don't want us to feel comfortable standing in the self, loving ourselves, for we would stop seeking external validation. Capitalism and materialism depend on self-doubt and us competing with one another. I challenge you to look at life from an attitude of appreciation. Could give you a shift in perspective. Have a great day. The word sex means males or females considered collectively. It's from the Latin sexus, meaning a sex, state of being either male or female, or gender. It's a word of uncertain origin. When people say the word sex in modern society, they likely think about sexual intercourse, not gender. Intercourse, like enter the course. Someone else may join the show and enter the course if you end up having a child. I have a hard time believing that it's unknown why the word sex is used. I just think we're not being told. So if we look at the letters in sex, S means spiritual wisdom. E is energy. And X is cause and effect, completion, karma. So sex is a complete exchange of spiritual wisdom and energy, as the letters indicate. Having sex with another gives that person complete access to your entire being. There are potentially beings posing as humanoid who will have sex with someone to get access inside their aura to get their mental knowledge. Unfortunately, many people end up behaving promiscuously due to trauma. Sex is a way for the body to get dopamine, and then that when you're constantly living in fight or flight, you have depleted dopamine, and so you become addicted to things that will get you more dopamine, and sex is one of those things. Pornography is a way to cover up sexual abuses and trafficking, as well as to destroy intimacy in the family unit. Pornography is not a realistic representation of what women want, and it's certainly not spiritually how sex is supposed to be. I mean, I watch porn and I think, oh my goodness, you guys just aren't really, you just don't get the full human sexual experience. I mean, y'all's just out here being poked. Looks awful. The word name means word by which a person or thing is denoted. It's from the Old English nama, meaning name or reputation, which comes from the Proto-Indo-European nomen, meaning name. The word denoted means mark off from others, identify by a mark. And to identify with our name does mark us out of the whole. We are a collective consciousness. All of our words and actions affect this reality. We're not separate from the whole. To speak cruelly or to wish evil on another is doing it to yourself on a higher level. Our name is the primary label we go by when we're in this system, and I feel that matter is a prison for eternal essence. Yaldabaoth is the evil god and creator of the material world in Gnosticism, who imprisoned souls in physical bodies trapped in a material universe. He is sometimes represented as a lion-headed serpent, and in Gnostic writings, Yaldabaoth went by 3 names. The first was Yaldabaoth, son of chaos. The second, Saklas, meaning fool. And the third, Samael, blindness of God. Now, Yaldabaoth was a creation that was a mistake, wasn't supposed to exist, but it's not his fault he exists. It was Sophia's fault for creating him. Now, Sophia does reside here in this realm until Yaldabaoth is dealt with, and that's likely who helps you out when you call on Mother Nature or even God. We are part of the demiurge's system, and everyone has a name. The word name can be rearranged into Amen, and Amun-Ra is one of the names of the demiurge. Maybe the demiurge goes by so many other names because the 3 names he was given by his creator were so mean. Mean is another anagram of name. I feel energies often live up to be their names. Maybe they should have given them a better name. For example, my name is Ginger, and I'm unique and spicy. If words make up the fabric of this reality, then our name inevitably encodes certain data into our path. Have a great day.